everybody, it's Rebecca here at Why Mermaids, and today I have another review for you. Today I am reviewing The 52nd by Della. So in the days of old, and I mean old, like Aztec and Mayan old, in the days of old, the gods and the people, the gods of the underworld, kind of had a disagreement. And they finally came to a truce, where they decided that every 52 years, 52 humans would be sacrificed to the underworld. Okay, it's better than like lots of people being sacrificed every single day. 52 every 52 years isn't as terrible. To make sure that this happens the way it's supposed to, there's an immortal family of watchers named the Castillos, who are in charge of kind of making sure that nobody else dies who's not supposed to die, kind of thing. Unbeknownst to many of them, there is a prophecy, of course, where the 52nd, one of the 52nd, so a 52nd sacrifice is going to kind of change the game. So we have two main characters. We have Lucas. Lucas is one of the Castillos, and he is part god, part mortal prince, except now he's immortal, so there you go. He is from the ancient days of the Mayans and the Aztecs. He kind of bridges the two together partly, and so yeah, he's immortal. He's one of the Watchers. And then you have Zara, who is a college freshman whose life changes when she meets the Castillo family at a bowling alley, which is where she worked at the time. Basically, what unfolds is a big, you know, plot revenge thing with the gods of the underworld coming to take people, and like a little love story is slowly blooming underneath as well. I was sent this book by the author for an honest review, so all thoughts and opinions are my own, and I am definitely giving an honest review here, so take it as you will from that. But thank you to Della for sending me the book. So on to my likes. I really liked the premise, like the idea, the concept behind it is really cool. I mean, it's the idea of gods of the underworld coming in with sacrifices and trying to like prevent that from happening. It's a cool premise. And I love the Aztec Mayan culture and history behind this whole thing. Like, I wish there were more of it in the book. I loved it so much. I thought it was really unique. I'd never read anything like it before, and I really love reading stories from different cultures, and this one definitely hit that. It brought me back to like 9th grade history class when I learned about them for the first time, and there was so much that I'd forgotten that I thought it was really cool, and I just thought that whole aspect behind it was just really intriguing, and like I said, I wish there'd been more. I really liked the Castillo family. Lucas is kind of, you know, your typical teenage boy with attitude problems and a little bit like Edward Cullen syndrome, but the rest of the Castillos are pretty cool. They're pretty cool characters, so I liked them a lot. And Zara herself, I don't know how to pronounce her name, although she is wishy-washy and, you know, kind of hard to read emotionally sometimes, she does stand on her own. She's not that, you know, YA protagonist, female protagonist who can't do anything and needs a man to rescue her. Like, she's strong-willed, and I did appreciate that, even though at times she really bugged me. I'm like, just make up your mind! Now it's on to my dislikes, which unfortunately were more and weighed a lot heavier than my likes. So the number one thing that I really had the problem with was the writing in general. I thought that it needed a lot of work. Some of the sentence structure was very choppy and stilted, and it just felt really strange. It seemed like in editing, certain parts got taken out that others remained, and so they didn't flow the way that it should, because it felt like there was a missing chunk there, because there probably was. And the dialogue itself just felt cheesy and completely like not realistic at all, the way that people talked. I was like, who talks like that? And so I just didn't really feel it. I couldn't really get into it because of just those, like, that choppiness of the writing itself. The plot started out really cool and strong, with like people of the underworld coming in and chasing and taking and stuff, and then it kind of disappeared for like 200 pages. I mean, this book is like 460 pages long. It probably could have been 250 pages, and that would have been too long at some point. So there was 200 pages there of just nothing. Like, let's go to school today, and let's learn this, and let's do this, and oh, I'm mad at him, and oh, I like him again. And it just got really draggy and really long. And then when the plot showed up again, it was rushed through it, and I would have liked to see more of the excitement of the plot that was coming in and less of the boring day-to-day waiting for the plot to happen kind of parts. And also the overall, I kept reading it and I was like, this is like Twilight, but with Aztec and Mayan immortals rather than vampires. Like, it's pretty much that's what it is. I mean, so much to the point where I was writing myself notes about how Lucas and Edward were the same person a lot of times. Like, there's stalking, there's like the hot and cold playing, there's the constant reference to how beautiful he is and how he's immortal and how he's like 500 years old and she's only 17 or whatever, and it just got to be too much for me. It was just too much. So all the problems that I had with Twilight, I had with this book, as far as a lot of it. Oh, however, some similarities, I really can only think of one, and that of course is Twilight. So if you really liked Twilight, you should check out the 52nd because it's very similar. I mean, and a lot of people will really like this book. I've seen Goodreads reviews of people raving about it. So if you like romance stories and you like paranormal romance, this is probably a good book for you. If you are over that phase of your life like I am, you're probably gonna roll your eyes a lot at it, and that might not be a good thing for you. So there you go. Overall, I gave this book 2 out of 5 stars, so it just wasn't for me. Let me know what your thoughts are down in the comments below. If you still want to read it, like, I definitely recommend it if you're interested in it. If this sounds interesting to you, give it a shot, because it is something different than what's typically out there as far as like the premise and the plot behind it, and the Aztec Mayan culture part of it is really cool and possibly worth checking out for you if the Twilight-esque-ness part of it doesn't deter you. That is it for my review of The 52nd by Della. Let me know what your thoughts are, and that's it for me today. I'll see you next time.